I recently made a couple of videos about forgotten shows from 1964, and I thought it might be interesting to jump a decade into the future and look at what was on television in 1974. 1974 was a fascinating year for television. Network TV reigned supreme, and most households still had only one television set. Families would gather in the evenings after the dinner table was cleared and homework was done to watch a variety of different shows compete for their attention. And while some shows became pop culture staples, such as The Rockford Files, Good Times, and Happy Days, others faded into obscurity. So let's dust off the cobwebs once again and revisit some of the forgotten TV shows that premiered in the fall of 1974. Get Christy Love began as a highly successful ABC movie of the week, which led to the creation of a weekly hour long television series that premiered in the fall of 1974. Starring Teresa Graves, who is already familiar to audiences from her time on the third season of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. The show featured Graves playing Christy Love, an energetic, wisecracking detective in the Special Investigations Division of the Los Angeles Police Department. And from what I could find, the reviews weren't terrible, but the series faced significant challenges, including a tight budget and the influence of Teresa Graves' strong religious beliefs, which limited the episode's content, and the show was canceled after just 22 episodes. In Nakia, Robert Forrester starred as Nakia Parker, a Native American deputy sheriff in a small town in New Mexico. Nakia navigates the tension between his tribal customs and the demands of modern day law enforcement, often bending the rules and opting to drive an old truck or ride a horse instead of patrolling in a police vehicle. The series began with a made for TV movie that aired on ABC in April 1974, followed by the show's premiere that fall. And despite its unique premise, Nakia faced tough competition with The Carol Burnett Show and was canceled after 13 episodes. Kolchak the Night Stalker was first realized as two made for TV movies, 1972's The Night Stalker and 1973's The Night Strangler. Both starred Darren McGavin as Carl Kolchak, a detective reporter who regularly encounters odd and supernatural activities such as vampires, werewolves, mummies, and UFOs. And the movies proved popular, so ABC attempted to make the story a weekly series, even securing Darren McGavin to continue his role. The series premiered on September 13th, 1974, which happened to be Friday the 13th. And despite its short lived run, the show left a lasting impact on popular culture. The series, which struggled to find a large audience then, was canceled in March of 1975, but it has garnered a dedicated cult following over the years. Its influence can be seen in other shows, such as The X-Files by Chris Carter, which drew inspiration from the Night Stalker's portrayal of the odd and supernatural. ABC tried to make this into a series again in 2005, with Stuart Townsend playing the main character, but it too was canceled after only one season.
At 8 o'clock, this is Channel 5, KTLA Los Angeles, with a reminder not to waste energy. How many lights are on in your house right now?
Set in 1858, The New Land tells the story of Swedish immigrants striving to build a new life in the untamed wilderness of Minnesota. The show featured a talented cast, which included Bonnie Bedelia, Kurt Russell, and Donald Moffat. Each episode began with a theme song sung by the amazing John Denver. Despite earning positive reviews and being compared to the Waltons, the New Land faced tough competition in its time slot, going up against All in the Family and Emergency. Unfortunately, the show couldn't capture a large enough audience and was canceled with only 6 of the 13 episodes ever making it to air.
Bonnie, having company? No, just family. Speaking Making a Family. Have you seen that show on ABC? The New Land. Fantastic.
Hey, Tom. Yeah, Chuck? You watched that Night Stalker on TV last night?
That thing on ABC?
Yeah.
Oh, some pretty frightening stuff there, huh?
Man.
Sonny and Cher's successful comedy hour premiered in 1971. But by 1974, their marriage was falling apart, and they went their separate ways, leading to the cancellation of their show. But ABC wanted to keep the beat going, so they signed Sonny for his own variety show, the Sonny Comedy Review. And ABC had high hopes for Sonny's new show, which featured many of the writers, producers, and cast members from the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. Some of the popular skits, including Sonny's Pizza, was even carried over. But audiences missed Cher and weren't rushing to the TV to tune in. The reviews were mixed. Some critics called it fun and others called it unbearable, and the show was canceled after 13 episodes. In 1976, Sonny and Cher put their differences aside, and I'm sure a hefty paycheck helped with that. And they revived their Sonny and Cher show, which went on to run for 2 additional seasons. The Manhunter starred Ken Howard as Dave Barrett, a private investigator from Idaho during the 1930s, a time marked by the Great Depression. After the death of his best friend in a bank robbery, Dave leaves his parents' farm to travel across the United States, tracking down criminals on the run, taking justice into his own hands, and pursuing those wanted by the law. The pilot episode of Manhunter aired on February 26, 1974, and following its positive reception, CBS picked up the show as a regular series, with the first official episode debuting 8 months later on September 11, 1974. The series did okay in the ratings, but CBS canceled it anyway after 22 episodes. Sons and Daughters was set in Stockton, California, set during the mid 1950s and focused on the tumultuous lives of high school sweethearts Jeff Reed and Anita Kramer. Jeff was dealing with the recent loss of his father, while Anita struggled with her mother's decision to leave her father for another man. Despite its potential, the show received mixed reviews, and it failed to connect with a broad audience, leading to its cancellation after just 9 episodes. Filmed on location in East Africa, the short lived series Born Free was based on the popular novel and 1966 film of the same name. The show chronicled the adventures of George and Joy Adamson, along with their adopted lioness, Elsa. As game wardens, the Adamsons were dedicated to protecting wildlife from poachers and natural disasters. And despite its beautiful setting and noble premise, the series had a brief run. The show was in the same time slot as The Rookies and Gunsmoke, and was canceled after just 13 episodes. So that's it for part 1 of the Forgotten Shows of 1974. I will be making a part 2, so make sure to check back for that. If you have any memories of these shows, please leave them in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, remember to subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.